you so much for taking the time to watch this video presentation. I'm so sorry I cannot be in Dubai, but I am very happy that the conference allowed, the IF4 conference allows me to do this with you. The title of my presentation is Leadership in Building a Sustainable Future, Education, Equity, and Economy. I am Dr. Rosemary Papa. I am the Dell and Jewel Lewis Endowed Chair, Learning Centered Leadership, and a professor in educational leadership at Northern Arizona in the U.S. Well, the next 20 years decide the fate of generations to come on our planet. That is a very significant question for all of us that are in education to consider. Naomi Klein wrote, "Surviving global warming, figuring out how to decrease poverty for more than 7 billion people on Earth while shrinking the global economy and replacing energy infrastructure will take a change as profound as the Industrial Revolution in 1/20th of the time." Sustainability is one of the world's most pressing issues today, and that is why it is very important for school educators, teachers, and school leaders and principals to understand what their role is in helping the children of our future to understand the issues of sustainability and how to take care of our planet Earth, and for the school leader to model and teach the environmental, economic, cultural, and political issues we face. Sustainability, as defined by myself, is enough for all forever. And that's speaking to the Earth's resources that we have at our hands now. So the question then becomes globalization as competitor, as one of competition amongst nation states, or is it one of interdependence, of us recognizing that we must protect the Earth? Many reports in the world, written by various societies, sometimes describe it more in the economic terms of being competitive with one another, of having a place to release goods into one society or to extract out the mineral resources that we have, that a nation may have. Others define globalization as having compassion and care for one another in how it is that we, together as humanity, want to protect our Earth. And with that, then, what is the role of the educator? How is it that we as teachers and school leaders and university professors understand that it's a task and a duty that we must face to help ensure that our Earth remains sustainable for all? So with this slide, you see that I am using the lens of Nancy Fraser and looking at the theory of justice as having elements that are critical to it. The first two elements she defines as what most of other theorists use, and that is the economic dimension of distribution, which looks at maldistribution as being related to how a society decides to determine who economically benefits and who economically does not benefit. I consider this to be a type of a linear approach, where in a linear line, the citizens of the nation state are driven by an economic perspective of those that have many goods, and those at the bottom do not have many goods at all. And those, sometimes we refer to them as the haves and the have-nots. And that economic driver is how you might look at that competitive sense of globalization. The other element, cultural dimension of recognition, looks at, again, the citizens. How does the society want to share the rewards within that society that are economically found within that nation state? Or does it instead ignore the cultural elements? And again, it's the linear, the haves and the have-nots. Well, I believe that with Nancy Fraser's lens, we understand the need to make a horizontal approach to how we allow all citizens to be participating and having an equal voice within that society. And that she called participatory parity. And that means that all citizens have a voice and a say within the political dimension of that society that then helps to unite the economic, the drive just for fiscal realities, and the other side, the cultural dimension, which looks at we're not going to allow the isms of our society to exist. The racism, the sexism, the gender nature, the lack of supporting all indigenous languages that exist in cultures within the milieu of that individual nation state. So for the good of humanity, when we think about sustainability, we think about it can be somewhat bifurcated, but it's not meant that they're separated. We look at the moral responsibility for society, for the individual, for that individual person that each of us represents, our own sense of humanity, as well as the moral responsibility for the common good, for all the society as a whole, and for all of the different elements of the differences that exist within our cultures. How is it that we maintain a common good? Are there common public schools for all children, boys and girls especially, from rural areas are able to attend school that are come out of poverty, that are not just of wealthy families that can go send their children to schools. So for that, looking at the good of humanity, the role of school administrators, of those that lead the schools and the teachers that serve, they must ensure that they are models of sustainability and understand the importance of the individual and the care and compassion that they require, as well as that of the whole common good of the society. In a study done by the sustainability group in Sedona, Arizona, we looked at administrators and their knowledge and familiarity. That slide is not showing, but I can tell you that by and large, the school administrators that we saw were aware and familiar with the importance of protecting the earth and its natural resources. What we then discovered by a subsequent question was what it is that they would need to help them understand, or have teachers understand. And you can see by the bars, the lines that hit this bar means that everyone that was asked this question expressed that it was very important to teach sustainability, and that was across many fields, not just science or the STEM fields, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, but across for very little kids when they're learning to read and write, and in our social studies classes, and even our physical education classes, that it's very important to teach. This bar tells us that it needs to be embedded in all of our classes, so it needs to be a pervasive, the way we in our schools today want to teach trust and respect and caring for one another, that we do not bully others, that it needs to be fully embedded into our curriculum. And finally, that we will establish model school practices that can be emulated, so that we are ensuring that we are recycling in our school. We're recycling the food within our cafeteria. we are recycling the papers and the products that we are using so that they can be used yet again in another way. The administrators also suggested that they have needs that must be supported. And this support needed expressed itself, the number one was that they would like sample lesson plans and materials for their teachers. And number two, they would like their teachers trained with these materials. And then number three, they would like guest speakers. And that means that there are those that are very knowledgeable in all elements of sustainability are brought into the classrooms. In this piece of the world where I am, very close to the Grand Canyon and next to the largest Native American reservation found in the United States, the Navajo Nation, I am using an old Indian proverb that says, "We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors. We borrow the earth from our children." And so enough for all forever. I hope that if you have any questions or would like to follow up with me, you can. I'm inside the program, and I look forward to any emails and would love to join hands with more people around the earth that are very interested in educators working with their teachers and their students on sustainability. Thank you.